Hi, this is the Alchemist Astrologer, and this is the February Inside Out reading for Aries Sun, Aries Rising, or Aries Moon. So the first thing we're going to look at is your conscious desire. Those are the desires that you're actively pursuing. It's what you're telling yourself, what you're telling other people about why you're doing what you're doing. You have the Empress, Finance, and Fairylands. So for some of you, you're definitely looking at finances. Finances are impacting the relationship. So for some of you, you're trying to sort out your finances. Maybe you're trying to figure out how to fund a project, or you're in negotiations with somebody concerning money. This may have a connection to a maternal figure, your role as a mother. It could be an important woman that's in your life. So maybe you're looking at the price of something. What does it cost? What is the price of happiness? Are you making the kind of money that you want? Where is the money going to come from? Who is it going to come from? Is someone you're connected with, do they have money? So for some of you, you're involved with a coworker, a colleague, a client. For others of you, you're in negotiations regarding money. You're looking at your sense of self-worth. How much money do you need to look a certain way, to project a certain something? What is the pleasure of money bringing to you? So you may be sorting through where you're spending money on extravagances, indulgences, in order to feel good, look good. Those may be valid, maybe they aren't. You're trying to get to the root of something. You're trying to separate fact from fiction. If this is about a project, maybe you're focused on what is the return going to be? How much money do I need to invest in that to make it worth my time and effort? So you could be actively applying yourself towards something, and you have to know that it's going to take some time, perhaps. Maybe you're looking at, well, how much time is this going to take? You're looking at, how much time something is going to take for you to move forward. But as long as you keep applying yourself, you're getting closer to that finish line. Now, again, some of you are having to look at waste or indulgence, where you're putting in too much or where you're not putting in enough, whether that's your time, your money, your effort. Maybe you're also, again, in discussions. This is about, speaking, negotiation. So you could be involved in some kind of negotiations where you're trying to sort out the financial picture with regard to something. So that's your conscious desire to get clear about perhaps your income, your values, your sense of self-worth, your earning or spending capacity. That's a big focus for you, and getting clear on that. But what is the unconscious desire that's driving your actions? Now, the unconscious desire is something that's below your awareness. It is hidden even to yourself. So these may be desires that are motivated by some suppressed memories, painful experiences, repressed emotions that are continuing to influence your behavior without even realizing it. And very often, your unconscious desires can be at odds with your conscious desire, and it can be the real motivation behind your actions, in spite of whatever it is that you're openly projecting. So you have the Five of Cups, seduction, and dream. So for some of you, there's a sense of loss or disappointment that may really be driving your actions. Perhaps there was a dream that you had and you feel like you can't salvage that. And it could have connected to a person that you were seduced by, or a situation. It could be, you were playing either end. Maybe you were the seducer or you were being seduced. But you're having to look at what is unrealistic about that situation and feeling a sense of loss. And you may be turning your back on something that you were seduced by, or you may have felt a loss by that. So something, something in the shadows, something probably not on the up and up in connection to your dream, something you're seduced by, whether that's a person, a concept, an idea. You're feeling a sense of loss, and maybe sometimes you're spending money to compensate for that loss. But what is it that you actually need? Because what you want and what you need can be two very different things. So your need is the Chariot, the future, and guidance. So you need to get some guidance about the future. There's some goal or objective. Perhaps you're in a conflict with someone, or you're conflicted with yourself, because there's some kind of struggle here to take charge of something, and how you're doing it. Are you insensitive to others? Are you running over somebody to meet a goal or an objective? Or is that happening to you? This may tie to an actual trip. Could be a road trip, a trip you're going to take in the future. It may tie to a vehicle or mode of transportation. But you need to either go within and get some, listen to your spirit guides, your intuition, or get some good advice with regard to something that pertains to the future, some relationship that's on the horizon, or some kind of experience that you are actively focused on. Because whatever you're doing is going to require, again, some patience, some perseverance, and you're going to be tested. And you may feel angry about that. This is a card of self-mastery, reconciling the two sides of yourself, the conscious, the unconscious, the shadow and the light of yourself. Or perhaps dealing with that in others to overcome some challenge and meet with victory. And it's going to mean that you're going to have to keep your eye on the prize and not be reckless through, spending too much, being extravagant, thinking things that are just going to come to you without applying yourself. It's about looking again at where you're going too far. Either you're spending too much, doing too much, feeling too much, or not enough of something. This is about hitting things on the mark in order to do whatever it is that you're aiming for in the future. So you're going to have to curb your impulses. There's something that you're tied to that connects to communication or travel or something out of the ordinary. Could be something romantic. But whatever it is, you're going to have to look at it, focus, and you're going to have to probably revise your schedule in some way, whether that's your time or your money. You may have to restructure your budget. Something could prove to be more costly than you had anticipated. So this is about looking down the road, making long-range plans, maybe planning something with someone. It's about the future and what's at the end of the road for you. So there's a need, again, to have patience, to recognize what your strengths and weaknesses are. And, there could be times where if you have more expertise or knowledge or experience, you may want to be in charge. You may want to take the lead role. But wherever you have a weakness, you need to step back and allow the other person to take the reins. So again, trust your intuition about the future, moving toward the future, and whether you're moving towards something too fast or recklessly. Now, the positive influence is the Three of Cups. So this is about sharing, exchanges with others, possibly with people who are karmically connected to you, and wisdom. So you may be sharing information or receiving that. It may tie to healing if this is about your sense of well-being that you're focused on. For some of you, there may be issues connected to sexual health or sexual involvement with others. So there are karmic connections. Could be some divine intervention at play. Fate could feel, you could feel very fated. Your exchanges with others, you're gaining some wisdom or offering that. There's plenty of chances for you to get the details on something. Get information that is healing. And maybe looking at what it costs for you to connect or celebrate or share, the cost of something, or the value of your exchanges that you're having with others. And these would be experiences that are orchestrated by the universe, that either allow you to gain some kind of karmic lesson, it gives you the opportunity to pay a karmic debt, or to evolve spiritually through your involvement and exchanges with others. Now, the negative influence is the Sun card, which, even though that may be negative, it's not too negative, because the Sun card always has some kind of valuable merit. For some of you, there's a focus on maybe you're taking a vacation, taking a trip. Maybe you want to go somewhere sunny, or maybe you're looking at your health, or again, you're focused on the future, your ambitions. For some of you, this may be about romance. It could be about your connection to children, yours or others. It could be about financial speculation, taking a gamble, taking a risk with regard to something. So you're making some decisions that tie to a new love, whether that is a person, some new relationship, something that you're interested in, some kind of passion that has become a new love for you. But there is a focus, and something needs to come into the light. Now, because this is a negative influence, this is telling you that either you need to focus on making this decision, or you're becoming frustrated and maybe lashing out in ways that undermine the very goal. Because this is about trying to push something forward before it's ready. And remember, you have to be patient. You have to persevere so that you don't end up reckless. Something is in a gestation period for you, and it's going to take some time. So if you allow yourself to become frustrated, or you feel that there's a sense of entitlement, if there's any kind of domineering or bullying behavior, that could backfire or burn you. This is about maintaining tact, diplomacy, keeping that optimistic attitude in spite of whatever's going on, that allows you to deal with challenging situations and, in fact, steer people toward your side even when they're difficult. So you may be making some decisions that connect to a child. Maybe this is a favorite child, or you're some new love that you've connected to, a new romance, or again, a project that you feel very inspired by. So you're making some decisions. You're going to have to be careful about acting impulsively, getting frustrated, acting arrogant, and saying or doing the wrong thing that again ends up burning you. Now, the heart of the situation is this legacy reversed. So there's something that ties to wealth, social status, influence, power. For some of you, this may be connected to a large property. You have appreciation. So, maybe this is a luxury property. You're looking at the value of something that you value very much, or someone you're connected to. And again, maybe there's extravagance or extremes. For some of you, this is about a relationship. One of you may feel that you're marrying down, or you're dating down. Maybe this is a partnership with somebody from a very different social status, or there's an appreciation for breaking the mold, going against the grain, rebelling against the system, or not doing what is expected. Now, it could be that somebody is extravagant, they're spending too much money and not doing what's expected to conform or to maintain wealth. You also have, I am willing to give and receive abundant love. So this implies that, you're looking at whether there is an equal exchange. Are you getting what you're giving? Are you giving what you hope to receive? Again, this is reconciling differences where you're in conflict with another. This is about working together toward a common goal, being synergistic rather than being apathetic, feeling a sense of entitlement and thinking things are just going to come to you. Now, the action that you're encouraged to take, or that you will be taking, is honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. Now, for some of you, maybe this is about pleasurable experiences, taking a vacation. For others of you, maybe this is about a relationship where you're in the honeymoon phase. Maybe you've actually gotten married, or this is just the beginning of a relationship where, of course, it feels good. It's the beginning. You don't really know everything about the other person yet. For some of you, this is about traveling, maybe traveling overseas, traveling across water. Maybe you're buying a vehicle. Maybe this is about a boat. But there's something about movement to the other side of a situation, whether that's distance or emotionally. You also have the card Big Mistake. So you're going to have to trust your intuition, get some guidance about whether this travel, whether it's a travel emotionally, spiritually, physically, is a big mistake. Because if you don't trust your intuition, something could be costly, it could be frustrating. The negative influence is you trying to push something forward before it's actually ready. So again, you're looking at perhaps the cost of something, whether you're losing, whether you can salvage it, whether it's a relationship, a vehicle, travel, some goal. Is it salvageable? Is it worth it? Are you focused? Are you applying yourself in order to save a situation? And it's likely to tie with something financial connected to the future, something in the distant future, on the horizon that you've been seduced by, whether it is a person, a belief, a concept, an ideal. And you're having to trust your intuition about whether this is a dream or this is just realistic. Whether it's realistic or it's just a dream. It may have to do with healing, sharing information, your health, whether you're happy, whether you're frustrated through these exchanges, whether you can trust them. And there's something, again, that attaches to letting go of something, a legacy, something that you have appreciation for, some kind of value system. It's not doing what's expected, and if you're not careful, you could make an error in judgment. All right, Aries, now that you know what's at the heart of your situation for February, head over to Vimeo to find out what you can change, what you can't change about this situation, and how it's all likely to turn out. I want to thank you for sharing your time and space. Please be sure to like and subscribe. And if you're interested in purchasing the Romantic Love Oracle deck or the Love is a Garden affirmation deck from this reading, the link is listed below.